Hey guys, it's your girl Jalicia, and I'm back with the tag that we talked about. Yay! Clap track! Yes, the clap track is back. Anyway, what I decided to come up with an idea. Maybe we can come up with our own tag that we might think is helpful to others. And Philexis 2222 or 2222, depending on how you want to look at it. She suggested that we come up with this tag, and I thought this was a great idea because it definitely can help newbies who are in that panicking stage and are freaking out over things that really ain't that serious. And I know I can raise my hand. I was one of them. Anyway, so the tag is 5 things that you freaked out in the beginning stages of locking that now that you're further along the journey, you do realize that, it was not that serious. And a lot of times, depending on what your 5 things is, it could be something that caused problems later on or damage it in some way that you want to give a heads up to someone else that might be freaking out. Now, if you're anything like me, I definitely stalked people's lock journeys and all kind of things, so I was in a whole bunch of different things. And some of these might be the same for us because we're locking, so we go through, similar type things in our journey. So each one teach one, Boom. Okay, so I'm going to stay tuned for my 5, and if you're watching this, yes, you're tagged. Yes, you're tagged. I expect everyone to do it, and even if you don't make videos, did you see that side eye? Yes. Make my tag your first, because I want to see who's watching me, right? Okay, so stay tuned for my 5. Find your ass. Shout out to whoever remembers that from the Tina Turner movie. I couldn't help myself. If you know me, guys, you know I come up with stuff like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with my 5. Now, I'm going to start with 5 going down to 1 because that's the way I want to do it. Okay. All right. Number 5, the parting. Oh, my goodness. Now, for those of you who don't know, I started my locks with 2-strand twists. So I was extremely concerned about how the parting was going to be and how that was going to look when you look at my scalp. I was freaking out. Like, I started my locks myself around Christmas time, and they were a mess. Like 2 weeks before Christmas, and it was a hot mess. But I must have retwisted my hair at least 7 times during that week, which, if you know, equals out to at least once a day. I would take it out, repart my hair. I've had diamond parting, I've had square parting, little square. It was a mess. And my locks just looked terrible anyway because I was messing up the twists, not necessarily the parting. Duh. So I could be parting for days. And when my friend Monique did my hair January 6th, 2010, 2010? Yeah, 2000. Anyway, child, see how I get sidetracked? When she put in my twist, I was like sitting in the chair like, make sure you part, and she was just like, and this is what I ended up with, and the parting didn't matter. It really doesn't, because at the end of the day, the beauty of your locks is what you're going to be looking at, and everyone's going to be looking at. Like, I've never heard anyone say, ooh, her locks are pretty, but them parts? No, ma'am. I've never had anyone do that. How about you? Okay, number 4. Number 4 is the thickness of my locks. Now, I was again concerned because I wanted my locks to be a certain thickness, I thought. And I would hear people say all the time, your locks are going to be genuine to you, and it's going to be, what's going to be on your head. And I was like, child, boo. Maybe that was working for you, but I ain't going to have no locks that just genuine to me. That wasn't going to happen. I was going to have the locks I wanted to have. So I would constantly look at them and look at people's photo key and come on YouTube and be like, okay, hers look like they're my size. It's going to look like that. And you know what? If you want Bob Marley locks and you're parting it like my locks, then you can tell there's a thickness different. But what you need to do is look at the size of where you're parting and look at the amount of hair that's in there and gauge from there how thick you think your locks are going to be. Because locks swell as they grow. when you're combing loose hair, you're combing out the dead hair. Well, we save ours. It's in here, and the water helps it to swell. So while my twist may have been this size, as you can see, all my locks aren't that size. They came out in a variety of ways, and I hate to say it. Actually, I do like to say it now. Everyone was right. Your locks are unique to you, because my locks are in my head, and no one's ever going to be able to have locks like mine. They may look similar, but they won't be. And actually, that's what I love about my hair the most, that it's unique to me. Even the flaws that I think maybe need to be changed, no one's going to be able to duplicate my head of locks. That's what makes locks beautiful and unique. And number 3, twisting direction. Now, I have seen a variety of people discuss this on YouTube, discuss that you should twist your hair clockwise, counterclockwise. You need to twist it the way it was then. You need to pay attention to the person that put it in. And I was freaking out about that. And I was all like in the mirror, like, looking to see and asking her, make sure you tell me which way you're twisting it. Make sure you, do them all clockwise, or the case may be. And honestly, in my opinion, before you guys jump down my throat if you do, and it's fine if you disagree, I feel like the twisting direction doesn't matter. The twisting direction is only helpful for you so that you don't have to, twist this way, twist this that way. And it does affect the way that your locks sit. I will say to that, but it's not detrimental to your locks. Now, let me give an example of the reason why I feel like this. Okay, you see my hair now. It looks semi-freshly twisted depending on how you like your hair. Fine. If I go and wash my hair out right now, the part that hasn't been locked in the, let's say, 2 weeks since I twisted my hair, is going to unravel. It's going to come right out. And if I'm just eyeballing it, I can't tell which way it was twisted in because the twist is washed out. And the only thing I'm left with is the lock. And the lock doesn't have a direction. So you understand what I mean? Well, in my head, at least, it doesn't. So when I'm taking that into consideration, I'm feeling, that's the reason why I'm saying twisting direction does not really matter. It's not something that you should obsess about. It's something that you should pay attention to so that it could be easier for you and you can learn the way that your hair is twisted so that you don't have this one twisted this way, this one twisted that way. That just doesn't even make sense commonly. You know what I mean? But don't obsess about it to the point where you're freaking out. It's really not that serious. No. Twist your hair, twist it all one way so you're comfortable. Honestly, I twist this way and twist this way because I like my hair look in the front going backward instead of coming forward. I don't like that. And it doesn't catch all my baby hairs and the things that, come out easily. Okay, number 2. Obsessing over what you think your hair is going to look like and build up. Now, I know everyone's going to say, build up, that's something you should obsess about. I disagree. And the reason why I disagree is if you're conscious of what causes buildup, then it's not something you're going to obsess about because you won't be using that. And you'll pay attention to your hair so you know. And if you're those that go to a loctician, that's the loctician's problem to worry about. If you're paying someone to do your hair, you shouldn't have buildup, period. I'm sorry. And if you have buildup from someone that you're paying, you need to address that with them because I feel like the only persons that should come on here and having problems with buildup is do-it-yourselfers because maybe we don't know or maybe we're not familiar of what causes buildup. And for you, I would say look at the videos that, there's plentiful videos that show how to get rid of buildup. But after that point, you should be conscious then of what causes buildup and it's no longer a problem. So control the buildup, but don't stress out about it. Now, in reference to what your locks would look like, that follows up what I said earlier. Looking at your locks, there's nothing that you can put like, rubber bands on your locks or foil paper or anything that will hold your locks to make them go in a certain shape. It's just not going to happen. And what you need to control is your happiness. And that sounds funny, but I feel like, what's going on emotionally and how your internal body is, it's hair. It's coming from the inside out. So it's going to show in your hair. So healthy life, healthy hair. Also, healthy mental state, healthy hair, because stress, as we know, causes breaking. So put that into consideration. But your locks are going to grow how your locks are going to grow. Your locks are going to look like how your locks are supposed to look. And, of course, you know what to do if you don't like the way it's looking. You can start over. You can cut them off. There are things like that. If it's, the cleanliness of your locks, that can be fixed. But you can't change the shape of your lock other than combining and making them bigger. And they're still going to look like what they're shaped as. They're just going to be bigger. That's just the way it is. So you can control the neatness and the professionalism, but the shape of your lock, that is nothing to worry about, because a lock is a lock is a lock, and it's beautiful just because it's a lock. That's all it needs. Okay? Don't worry. Okay, and now we are at number 1. Now, my number 1 is unraveling. Yes. Now, unraveling is big for me because, again, I started my locks with 2-strand twists. So, I was obsessed with my twist unraveling, because I just felt like if it unraveled, then it would be 2 thin locks instead of 1 thicker locks. And I really wanted, the locks that I have now, I really wanted that size, to be honest. I didn't want it to be thinner. However, this is no shade to the person that did my hair, Monique, because probably 1 twist came out. And that's the one right back here that you know is everyone trouble area. This one right here with the bead on it. This one came out like 3 times. This is the only one. She did an excellent job twisting, but because I did a terrible job twisting when I first twisted my hair before it was actually installed, it unraveled constantly, like almost my whole head. It was because my twisting skills at that time was terrible. So, because of that, traumatic experience, if you will, I was obsessed with unraveling, to the point where I would sometimes try to pull to see if they're going to unravel. They did not unravel. 1. So, at the end of the day, just let your hair do its own thing, and do not worry about unraveling, because you're stressing yourself more out. And if it does unravel, it can easily be twisted back. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not going to stop your locking process that much. So, unraveling, don't worry about that. Excuse that. That's my BBM. So, that's my number 1 thing. Unraveling. And trust me when I tell you, it made my eyes cry. Okay, guys, so that's my 5. Again, remember, you are tagged, so I'm waiting on you to tell me your responses. And also, for you loose naturals that may be watching my channel, this is not just for me, because trust me, I can do a separate tag just for what happened that I freaked out about with my loose natural hair, and I'm sure it will be helpful for a lot of loose naturals. So feel free to do it. Tag me and tag all your friends so that we can make this newbie guide to locks, loose natural hair, transitioning. I mean, all the good stuff. I would love to see it grow and spread so that we all can just be intertwined with this tag. That would be awesome. Okay? So, you're it. You're it. Thanks for watching, guys.